everybody. We're getting back to you after a little bit of time here. I did take time to attend the two meetings, the Executive Committee meeting and what was the other one again? The Human Services and Health Board meeting. And there were other individuals there to speak out against the ordinance, even though that wasn't on the agenda anymore. First off, I want to just apologize. The last time I spoke to you, it seemed vague, I'm sure, and that was on purpose. There were things that I wasn't quite sure of, but it looked like were going on, and I know now that they are going on. We have issues in the Dodge County Board that need our attention, our being the Dodge County citizens. We need to help a lot of these people, a lot of these supervisors who want things different, but the leadership of the board is resisting it. So first off, the meetings were of interest, and I saw these leaders in action. They pretty much circle the wagon when they protect each other, along with, it seems, a relationship of support with the head of the legal counsel too. That's the way I perceived it. There is another supervisor at that meeting who is not on the executive committee, and he has proposed an ordinance to the whole board, which will be presented at this month's meeting, that will address this abuse of authority that the leadership of the county board is experiencing. So I would encourage you to get a hold of your representative and find out what's going on. And I know I mentioned it last time a little bit, but it was vague, and again I apologize for that. But now we know there is something going on. People are concerned about the chairman, vice chairman, and second vice chairman sort of running independent of the rest of the board, doing things they shouldn't be doing independent of the rest of the board. As an example, we saw it happen in June's meeting where the chairman decided what was going to happen to the health and welfare ordinance apart from the rest of the board. That wasn't supposed to happen, and we're still addressing that too with him. So call your representative and ask him about that. See what he or she thinks. I want to find out who believes that something needs to be changed and who doesn't. It's important that we, the people, help our representatives correct these things as we see them right now. I also wanted to say that that health ordinance is, the status is unknown really right now because it was handled in such a funny way. It could be brought up again at this meeting in July. Realistically, any board member could bring it forward again to deal with it. So tell your representative, say no to this ordinance. I believe Jefferson County is ready to just quash the whole thing at their next board meeting. Washington County is sort of following suit, but Dane County is just totally different. They have everybody wearing masks now if you go outside your house. So you see how this is just all up in the air. My concern is when I was at these meetings, I saw that the Dodge County leadership, whenever confronted with a hard question, they say, what are the other counties doing? What is Washington County doing? What is Jefferson County doing? They aren't ready to just pull the trigger and make a decision on their own. They have to see what everybody else is doing. So let's encourage our supervisors to take charge, even though the leadership wants to always maybe hold back, to just be responsible, make the decisions they've been elected to make for us. Our rights are at stake. Now we have known and we take for granted that when our officials are elected to this office, they take an oath of office. And I did get a copy of the oath that they take, and it says they have to do three things. Number one, support the Constitution of the United States. The second thing they must do is support the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin. The third thing is fulfill the responsibilities of the office that they've been elected to. Remember what comes first. They have to protect each of our rights first while they are doing that business, because you can't violate my rights, I can't violate your rights, but government violates the people's rights. That's where it can happen. And I have two items that I want you to get a hold of. They are in a PDF form and they are in the comments section of this video. So go into that section when you're done here and download the PDFs. One is about the oath of office and how it affects our elected representative and us. It also has a copy of federal law that states they must not violate our rights or they are going to be guilty of a federal crime. That's what actually worked for me. The Department of Agriculture's Food Safety Division came after our farm and store just because we were doing something they didn't want us to do, but it was legal. They tried to run us out of business. I went after them for deprivation of rights and won. This is serious business. They cannot do this as a public official. So go and get that, read it, understand it, and send a copy of it to your representative so they know what our relationship is. And there is a second item there to download. It is about, it slips in mind right now.
Example.
It'll come later. You'll see it, and I'll mention it later. But download both of those and give that to, oh, I know what it was now. The ordinance, the health and welfare ordinance, I give you an example of what it would look like or what a part of it would look like if it was constitutionally sound. You'll be amazed at the difference between what was offered as a draft and what should be offered if it was constitutionally sound. But we really don't want it, period. We want to vote no. But I just wanted you to be able to see why this draft was so bad, so bad. So for your children, for your grandchildren's sake, let's stand up for our rights here and let's empower our representatives to stand up to be heard even though leadership wants to roll over them. Our responsibilities really need to start there. Click onto those links, download the material, call your representative, stop the abuse of authority at Dodge County level. That's long term and short term, but here's two other items of interest. They're going to propose an ordinance about this abuse of leadership authority. It might be interesting for you to come to that meeting and just listen to what's going on there. Also, they have a new budget item proposal. Now, in these days when money is getting tighter, now all of a sudden, I think it's the vice chairman is proposing a new item to go on the budget to get some money to, what do they call it? Long-term strategic planning for Dodge County. Long-term strategic planning. Let's get through this year. Why are we going to be spending some more money on something long-term? So I want you to address that too. Whatever you think about it, tell your representative. I believe we should vote no on that. The third thing is the proposed ordinance again for the health and welfare. Just reinforce that we don't want that. Reinforce it. Download those two items, familiarize yourself with them, get them to your representative, and let's help our county board get back to representing us rather than being railroaded into doing what a certain few people in leadership want to do. What they may not know is if they really don't like what the leadership is doing, all they have to have is a majority to elect new chairman, new vice chairman, and new second vice chairman. They don't even need a reason. Statute history says they just need a majority. We can help them pull this around again. So please do these things. If you have any questions, just go onto the comment section and Ashley will help you out, I am sure. Thank you for your time. Again, sorry about the vagueness last time, but there are things to do here. So please, let's all be a part of this and break Dodge County around to being the leader of all counties in the state of Wisconsin. Thank you.